bakers get that super smooth icing? Well, I'm here to show you the trick, and it's really easy. What you'll need is a turntable or a Lazy Susan, or you could even get away with just a flat plate that you'll turn, a little piece of shelf liner, some plastic wrap, and a palette knife, an icing scraper, and an acrylic disc set from CakeSafe.com. And if you want to get very fancy with it, you could use a level too. Let me show you how it works. So to start, you put your shelf liner down, then put your bottom disc on top of that, and put your cake on top of the bottom disc. It's on a piece of cardboard, so it'll be easier to get off the disc later on. Rip off a piece of plastic wrap, put it as smooth as you can, and wrap it around the top disc. Now you're just going to put a ton of icing onto the top of the cake. This will help really make it a smooth top, and it doesn't matter if the icing spills out around the sides when you put your top disc on. Now this is an optional step. You can add some icing to the plastic wrap side of your top disc. Now put your top disc plastic wrap side down on top of your cake. And now I'm just using the flat edge of an icing scraper to make sure the discs are lined up with each other. Now add some icing in an upward motion around the perimeter of your cake. Here's where we get real fancy. Grab a level if you have one and put it on the top disc, and then just push down on whichever side needs to be pushed down. Rotate it a couple times and check all around. Now really load up your cake with icing. Just slap it all on there. Doesn't have to be pretty at all. And I'm actually just using a plain old butter knife. Here comes the fun part. Take your icing scraper with the sticker side out and scrape your cake. Remove the excess icing as you go, but then just keep on scraping. You'll see some holes and some dents the first time you scrape, so just fill those in and scrape again. This is how it's just so easy to get that really smooth icing. Once you're happy with how smooth your icing is, peel back the plastic wrap and remove your top disc. Then slowly peel back the plastic wrap. You'll most likely have some holes in the top of your cake, so just fill those in with icing. I'm smoothing the icing down with my palette knife, and then to make it super smooth and flat, I use my icing scraper. Look at that cake! It's pretty darn smooth. Now I'll show you how to remove the bottom disc. You're going to grab your palette knife and find the space in between the cardboard and the bottom disc. Now just spin the palette knife all the way around until you can lift your cake off of the bottom disc. And there you have it. I added some banana slices, some shredded coconut, and mango puree on the top to make it a really tropical chocolate cake. So I didn't want to jinx myself, but I need to tell you guys that that was my very first time icing with acrylic discs. I'm not a baker. As you can see, I was using store-bought icing, and that was a cake mix I got from the store. So that was my first time, and it's only gonna get easier from here. I also wanted to give you some additional tips. Instead of plastic wrap, you could use parchment paper underneath your top disc. We sell that on CakeSafe.com. It's another great method. And also, if it's super warm and you're using gooey store-bought icing, it might help to refrigerate your cake before you remove the discs. It was about 82 degrees in here, and the icing I got from the store was very gooey, so I refrigerated my cake for about 40 minutes before I removed the top and bottom discs, and it just made it much easier. And that's it. Thank you. Head on over to CakeSafe.com and grab yourself a pair of discs, a palette knife, and an icing scraper.